by Robot Watson is a story about a cake who never uses manners when he is asked to do things. He does not listen to his parents when they repeatedly ask him to go home. He does not take turns like he is supposed to on the playground, and he takes things from others without asking. One day, a Cyclops takes him away because he believes that Rude Cakes is actually a hat. While Rude Cakes is placed on the head of the Cyclops, he hears all of them saying please, saying thank you, and being nice to one another in general. Rude Cakes is starting to get upset because everyone is calling him a hat, and finally blurts out the word please so that the Cyclops will actually listen to him. Once he says please, the Cyclops takes him back home where Rude Cakes is no longer rude. He starts to take his peers' feeling into consideration while interacting with others. Process creating. Anchor Standard 1. Generate and conceptualize artistic ideas and work. Engage in exploration and imaginative play with materials. Process responding. Anchored Standard 7. Perceive and analyze artistic work. Describe what an image represents. Students will create a Rude Cake hat and will use given materials to decorate it with words and phrases that are used in the book. 2. Students will present their hats and will tell the class what the right and polite way is to correct the rudeness on their hats. For this activity, you will need construction paper, markers, crayons, the book Rude Cakes by Robert Watson, tape, staplers, colored pencils, and scrap pieces of construction paper. After you read the book, ask students why they think that the cake is chosen to become a hat on Cyclops. After a few students have answered, tell them that today we will be making our own Rude Cake. Tell them we will be creating a hat that the Cyclops will wear that has things the Rude Cake would say. Show them a pre-made example of the hat. The pre-made example will have a cake that says, I'm not going home because I don't want to. Remind them that in the book, Rude Cakes does not listen to his mother and father when they ask him to come home when he plays outside. Ask students to give examples of things they should not say to other people. Once some examples are given, let them know that these are all examples that can be written on their hats. Tell the students that they are recreating the same images that are shown in the book. Tell them that this is an example of unity. As students are drawing on their hats, ask them why they chose the rude things that they did. Once they reply, ask them what polite things they could say, but instead of the rude comment. Ask students if their hat is saying is a correct response, or is there another nicer approach. When the students are sitting, tell them that the way Rude Cakes ends in the end by being polite is the way that they are supposed to be all the time. Rude Cakes at the beginning of the book is not correct way that you are supposed to talk to others. Remind students that they are all done sharing that they should always be the Cyclops in the world full of Rude Cakes. For struggling learners, create a word bank of words and phrases and hand it out to students that have examples of manners and examples of what to say when they are trying to be nice to others. To challenge advanced learners, challenge students to make different shapes and patterns as the templates for their hats and cut them out with scissors. Artistic process, creating. With guidance, explore and experience music concepts. Artistic process, present. With guidance, perform music with expression. Lesson objectives. 1. Be able to follow along with the song and do the movements that are put along with the song. 2. Perform the song and movements effectively and in a way that shows they understand. For this activity, all you need is your computer so that you are able to play the song. After reading the book Rude Cakes, have students think about some of the things they have done that are interpreted as rude. Ask the students another question on how they show good manners to their parents and friends. Then on the computer, play them the song Please and Thank You by Little Mandy Manners. After the song is over, tell them that they will be picking out a specific chorus of the song to sing and make movements to. Show them the specific chorus that they will be singing today and show them the dance moves they will be doing. Students will then be able to stand up and sing along with the chorus. Have students sing the song and have them repeat it until they are comfortable with it. Then introduce the movements that will go along with it. Once the students have the movements down, have them stand up and be ready to perform. in the activity by asking them some of the polite things they learned from the song. For struggling learners, have the words of the song that you picked out on the board up front for them to see. To challenge advanced learners, challenge students to make their own movements to the song. Standard 1. The physical, literal individual demonstrates competency in a variety of motor skills and movement patterns. Hops, gallops, jogs, and slides using a mature pattern. Affective skills. Standard 4. Physical, literal individual exhibits responsible, personal, and social behavior that respects self and others. Follows teacher's directions for safe participation and proper use of equipment without teacher reminders. Lesson objectives. 1. I can work with my classmates in a fun, non competitive activity while using manners. 2. I can respect my peers as well as the teacher's instruction and material. Tell the students that they are going to be playing a game of tag where each student gets to be it. Let students know that they will be able to run around the open space trying to tag others while also avoiding being tagged by their classmates. Once a student gets tagged, they must sit on the ground. When students see a classmate that has been tagged, they may untag them so that they can return to the game. For a student to be untagged, a student that is not it must come up to them, and the tagged student must ask nicely, "Can you please untag me?" And they give each other a high five before returning to the game and once again being it. After each student has had the opportunity to be frozen, the game is over. Bring students back together and ask them how they felt when others said please and thank you during the game. These are the manners that they should portray every day. For struggling learners, if a student is struggling to tag people themselves, allow that student to untag as many people as they can throughout the game. To challenge advanced learners, students must use complex sentences while asking to be untagged from the ground. After reading the book and completing the following lesson plans, students should get a clearer idea of why it is needed to respect those around them.